have rallied against the project, and opponents went door to door to warn people in Queens of looming rent hikes and displacement. Again, key thing, that's going to be a lot of, like, this is going to pretty much, the idea is, the main problem is that people have with it is it's going to really uproot the community to an incredibly large degree, and it's going to be, just like, what they're pretty much saying is, they can ask the people of Seattle who experienced much the same thing, and that's where Amazon's first headquarters are now. It was really, during the company's explosive growth there, they had a pretty rough time of it. So that is also very unfortunate. The Post noted that this is all talk at the moment, but this could be a ploy by Amazon executives to put pressure on city officials to start playing ball. But so far, the people, they probably don't care either way whether this Amazon deal comes in. But when I feel like they're, if anything, being that they're New Yorkers, of course, they're very wary, as they should be, because this is it's like inviting a behemoth into town, and it's only going to help big business, really, is what it's going to be, and help Amazon just make even more money, pay even less in taxes, and give Jeff Bezos a helipad. Why not? So union leaders immediately jumped on the potential weaknesses, putting the blame squarely on Amazon for any kind of erosion of the deal. Stuart Applebaum, president of Retail, Wholesale, Development, and Store Union, the president of the Retail, Wholesale, and Development and Department Store Union, one of the largest unions courting Amazon employees, issued the statement saying, quote, "If the Amazon deal falls apart, they will have nobody to blame but themselves. A major problem is the way the deal was put together, shrouded in secrecy and ignoring what New Yorkers want and need. They arrogantly continue to refuse to meet with key stakeholders to address their concerns, despite requests from New York's top elected officials to do so. With their long history of abusing workers, key point. All you got to do is just Google some of this incredible stuff, and it is not good. Just Google Amazon labor practices, and this is especially something you should do if you live in the area. If they're going to build this thing, is it is pretty rough. Business Insider, just give you some of the. Oh, now I can't read it because I have to join Business Insider Prime. Oh dear. That's not going to work. But hold on. Well, we know there's been a lot of anti-union efforts, just people being overworked, underpaid, all that same kind of situation. So this is from The Guardian, where Donna Ferguson recorded the experience of a particular worker by the name of Aaron Calloway, saying, quote, "I work 4 nights a week in an Amazon workhouse near my home in Southend-on-Sea. It's a quite cold place to work, and apart from 2.5-hour meal breaks, I'm on my feet for 10.5 hours. I scan items the trucks bring in from the distributors and place them in the right cart for the robots to take the correct place on the warehouse." Again, automation, a big thing. They pretty much turn their workers into computers, and they track their performances. And if you're not performing up to par, there's some sort of computer algorithm that just sends you an email immediately. Boom, you're fired. And it's happened to some people like over Christmas. Just awful, no heart. All just gears and machines under there at Amazon. He also continues saying, "I have to put away each item in 15 seconds or less and get through 250 in an hour, or I'll be given a warning by my manager. Stepping away from my station so I can get a drink of water. Take a drink of water can have a big impact on my performance. During my half-hour breaks, I rush downstairs to have something to eat. It's stressful, and it definitely affects my health. Standing up for hours on end, I worry I may pass out if I don't rest during my meal breaks. I've lost a lot of weight since I've started." Ugh. That seems, that's the quality jobs that Amazon is going to bring to New York, along with no chance at a union, awful wages, pretty much Amazon, Bernie Sanders had to force them to raise. And I mean, I could do a whole episode on some of the labor practices about Amazon's $15 minimum wage. So in the same announcement, of Amazon saying that it would raise the minimum wage, it says it's going to start lobbying Congress to raise it to from $7.25 to raise a little bit. Jeff Bezos said he needs to listen to the critics and decided that they wanted to lead. On the face, Amazon Wired writes about this, saying Amazon is a good decision to raise wages is unequivocally a good thing on its face, with the power to positively impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of workers. Bernie Sanders really attacked everything pretty tough. attacked Amazon pretty tough. The Stop Bezos Act, as I'm sure you know. And Sanders' initiative provoked a pretty rare response from Amazon. So a lot of good stuff here. But this is the bet that Amazon has to make. That increasing pay will do more than just alleviate pressure from lawmakers and activists who want the retail giant to improve its working conditions. In the coming months, the company will need to attract 100,000 seasonal employees in the U.S. and try to dominate the holiday shopping season that just took past. Wired is again writing here. So, yeah, market's going down. Yeah, and labor organizing efforts have been absolutely crushed. So, yeah, not everything is good at Amazon. And that's just kind of the picture of why people don't want a deal there. And again, not all jobs are good jobs. Some jobs absolutely suck. And uprooting communities, massive amounts of rent hikes, making it harder for people who don't work there. A lot of displacement makes the situation just worse and worse. So, yeah. Good thing, no doubt that this Amazon deal might actually be going up in flames here. We'll keep an eye on that story for you here on Newsflash. All right, we turn the tide now to our favorite right-wing pundit, Ben Shapiro. Here's what he had to say, and by the way, this is so funny. He got triggered during again, after the State of the Union, about Nancy Pelosi shuffling papers. And again, you're not seeing this on video, but his camera angle is ridiculously close. I need at least a camera has to put a restraining order on that camera. It's way too close to his face. It's up on all these weird angles. Just hate it. Ugh. It's like have a distance. Like, ugh. To see this lumpy looking face out there. I'm good. All right. Here he is talking about the Nancy Pelosi behavior at the State of the Union.
This, and Nancy Pelosi is ruffling through sheets of paper, which, by the way, is kind of rude. I mean, just if a Republican had done that while President Obama was president, there would be endless talk about how condescending it was.
Yeah, so there'd be endless talk about how condescending it was. And again, this comes just 10 years? It feels like yesterday, but 10 years after this happened, ladies and gentlemen, just a few years ago, the well-known moment at the President Barack Obama State of the Union, I think his first one he ever did, where this happened.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally.
Yeah, so again, of course, this is when he, of course, if you didn't catch that, a Republican by the name of Joe Wilson yelled, "You lie!" at Obama during the speech, where he said the reforms will not provide to those illegally. Nancy Pelosi, with a different kind of look on her face, looking in shock at this guy. Everyone just turns to look at him. Ugh. Yeah, absolutely insufferable behavior. Like, that's rude behavior right there. That is rude behavior. And that is, that's on a whole nother level of stuff. Like, that's on a whole nother level, just absolute awful. Just shut up. Like, just pandering to the base, a whole nother level. But again, it's the same kind of thing that we have to realize when we talk about Republic. Like, the moral high ground does not exist for them. So there's an ongoing debate in the Democratic Party about how do you respond to that with the moral high ground. Like, Nancy Pelosi wasn't doing anything rude, but it just makes the point that Republicans are going to criticize you for things they've done, that they've done to worst degree. Like, for example, like the racism aspect. Like, we talk about Ralph Northam, some of the things that his opponent, Ed Gillespie, said about illegal immigrants during the campaign, which was absolutely awful. He wanted to keep up Confederate statues. So, again, like, it's like the rules of decency and the rules of debate and decorum, like, they don't matter to these people. And I think we're increasingly seeing with arguments like Ben Shapiro's being made ever more frequently, that we really need to reevaluate. At least we really need to, I think, throw the rules of decorum and we need to be polite. Just throw that out the window, because that is not going to gain us any points as liberals, as leftists, whatever you want to call it. But it's only going to make the situation worse, and we're going to continue to lose, and that just needs to stop. All right. Yeah, so that's the important thing to remember. that is the show for us today. We're back tomorrow with the Wake Up. Great new episodes of the Wake Up all this week. We'll be back Thursday with another episode of News Flash. We hope you liked it, but if you ever want to do anything, and if you like the show, please consider checking out For the Win. Just do it, okay? It's wherever you get your podcast. We're trying to grow another podcast into prominence. We've already done it with the Wake Up. We've already done it with Newsflash. We're trying to do it For the Win and create a full-on lineup. And by the way, also, we just recently released a new episode of Global on World War I. That's another great success we've had in a podcasting game. So you're going to want to check that out as well. So that's all we got on SWN. We'll see you in a minute for, well, really just a few hours, actually, for real, about this new episode of The Wake Up coming tomorrow. Start your week off right with my lovely, beautiful voice. You can subscribe on that wherever you get your podcast. It's Spencer Walsh Radio Network, #1 in podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow.